Hi there, I have with me here the latest release from Hong Kong model, the 1/32 scale Avro Lancaster, and this time is the Dam Buster version. Should we open the box and have a look what's inside? But before we do that, let's look at the box. It's a really nice box art. In the box art, we can see the Lancaster dropping the famous bomb, and also the famous aiming lights. And on this side, again, we have some CAD drawing, computer rendering of the CAD drawing of the model. And oh wow, it's so heavy. And of course, at this end will be is the same illustration of the front box. And on this side, we can see the a profile rendering of the plane, and then its cooperation with AK Interactive and also large-scale modelers. Okay, let's open the box. Well, there are a huge amount of parts. First of all, we have the two wings, and it's protected by two cardboard partitioned. Set that aside. And then we have the two sprue of clear parts. And then we have the instruction. The one is the original initial release of Lancaster. There's additional instruction for this version, the Dam Busters. And then we have tons of sprues. I mean, most of these sprues are the same as the initial release. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because there are tons of reviews being put up by various modelers. Propellers, two kinds of propellers, and here's the sprue of one of the main sprue of this kit for the Dam Buster. And here's some of the cockpit details. This is the flaps, the wingtips, and here are the fuselage. Boy, is it huge! Boy, this is huge. And I believe these sprue are the cockpit details. These screws are the engine nacelle, engine nacelle, the wheels, and also some of the detail parts of the wing, the wheel wells and stuff like that. And then the nose of the fuselage. This is the bomb bay and the bomb bay door. Boy, these parts are huge. And then the turret fairing, and these are parts for the landing gear, and also the original release decal sheets and the additional lettering for the dam busters. And here is a small thread of photo etch parts which compose mainly of seat belts. Well, let's look at it one by one now. First are the two main fuselage. There are so many reviews done on this kit. I'm sure you've seen these before. It has all the details in the interior, and the exterior is done with very fine rivets, and there are loads of them in different sizes. And the molding is very nice, without any sting mark or ejection pin mark, by using all these studs on the side of the part. And they are very nice. And then we have the front section of the fuselage. And again, the surface detail is excellent. And with all the interior details, absolutely no injection marks or sting marks. Perfectly molded. The other side. All the rivet details. And then let's look at the other sprues. And this one has the engine nacelle, to the spinners, the wheels, the exhaust, fairings, the wheel well, and also the wing root. Looking at the part, you can probably guess that the wing can be take off and put on again, after the plane, after the model has been assembled. And then there's other detail parts for the wings. Well, on this bag of sprue, it has the same sprue as the one we just saw. This is exactly the same as the one we just saw. And then we have this sprue composed of all the control surface. This is the tail and the tail elevators, the rudder, and as you can see, the problem with the tail of the initial release have been fixed, and it's great to see that. And then we come to the sprue of the interior of the plane. I'm not going to spend too much time on this sprue because these are the same as the ones in the initial release of the kit. And here is the cockpit area, and then this is part of the bomb bay detail, and the other details of the cockpits, and also the navigator's station and all the rest. Here are the parts for the landing gears, and it's again very nicely molded, and no sink mark or any ejection pin mark on the part itself. Again, these you've probably seen before from other models review, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But there are two identical sprue, one for the left side, one for the right side. You know, probably flip of the parts. So we have the back of the engine nacelle, the wingtip, and also I believe these are the landing gear doors, and then the elevators, the flaps. This must be the ailerons. Well, also with interior details, and also no ejection pin mark whatsoever. Well, the number of screws goes on and on. I believe these sprues are the landing gear and also engine bay details. This must be some of the gas tank or oil tanks. And then we come to some of the smaller sprues. Well, this contains some of the interior details for the cockpits, some of the radios, a seat. This is probably the side of the cockpit. And then this one has the machine guns. And then this must be one of the gun turrets. And here are the two different styles of propellers, and I'm not going to open it because I think you guys probably saw it before. There are 4 sets of each. And then we come to the engine parts. Here are the screws for the exhaust of the engine. Well, again, these I'm not going to bother to open the bags. I mean, these are the sprue for the 4 Merlin engines. Actually, looking at them, they are quite well detailed, but they're not like crazily detailed. But I think they are, good enough after you paint it up. With some nice painting, they'll look quite nice. And here are the sprue for the engine, the nacelle. They are identical sprue. I believe 2 for each side of the wings. And these are the screw for the turret fairing, or for the Dam Buster. I believe there's no top gun turret, and this is for the filling of the hole. And then some of the details on the control surfaces of the plane. And then we have the other details of the cockpit area and the gun turrets. And this one has the interior. Here's the ammunition belt for the machine guns, and these are probably some of the interior details for the gun turrets and stuff. And then this is one of the gun turret details. And then we come to the wings. And again, this wing is being molded in as one single piece, top and bottom. And this is some tests, or some of the molding and then we come to the main wing, and then we come to the main wing of the kit. And again, the famous one-piece molding for the top and bottom half of the wings. People have been talking about this. I'm not gonna talk about this anymore, but again, it has all the rivet details and stuff. You'll be able to see all the rivets and all the detail of the panel lines are being replicated. And of course, we have two of them. Two giant pieces of wings. Huge. Look at the size of my hand and the size of the wing. And then we have the clear parts, the canopies. Again, people have been talking about them over and over again. So I'm not going to bother taking them out. I don't want to scratch them or anything. And is composed of the main canopy, the front glass dome, and also the front turret. And then we have the rear turret and a bunch of windows, and also the radar dome. And then now we come to the main sprue of this particular kit, the assembly of the bomb bay for the bouncing bomb. First of all, we have the fairing of the bomb bay, front and back fairing for the bomb, and then we have the main bomb in two parts and the sides. And here is the pulley wheel with the driven rubber band, and then we have the swing arms for the bomb, and also some details on the motors and stuff like that. Again, these parts are nicely molded without any flash. All the injection mark should be covered. They cannot be seen after the whole thing being put together. And these are, you know, very nicely molded pieces. And then next we come to the decals and the photo etch parts. Okay, here is the photo etch parts, and it mainly consists of the seat belts, and then for the decal, there are two original pieces that came with the initial release of the plane. And then for this particular kit, there's a new small piece of decal for the particular plane that we are building, and is the AJG code. Well, and then we come to the instruction booklet. First of all, we have the same one that came with the initial release of the Lancaster B Mark I version, the bomber version. And again, I think everybody have been this have been shown for many times, and I'm going to go through it very quickly. I mean, first two pages are the assembly of the internal details, like the cockpit area and the navigators stations and all that. And then we have the front part of the fuselage. And then we have come to the main assembly of the main fuselage, all the windows, and then installation of the front part to the main fuselage parts. Then we have the assembly of all the gun turrets, and then more assemble of the gun turrets, and then also the bombs and the installation of bombs into the main bomb bay, the assembly of the engines, and then the installation of the engine engine and the nacelles, and then the wheel wells, and then, you know, completing of the landing gear structures, then putting the wing tips into the main wing, assembly of the engine nacelles into the wings, the flaps, and then the other engine parts, the engine mounts and stuff like that. And I mean, these are the same drawings for both sides of the wings, you know, so it's just repeating it on the left and the right wings. And then we come to the rudder, the tail part, and as I mentioned, the problem with the tail has been fixed. And then the main bomb bay, and the assembly of the canopy, and the completion of the plane, of the model. And then we have the sprue and then part illustration. Has the then we come to the decal image. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 markings for the plane, and also the painting guide of the camouflage, and then decal placement instruction for all the stencils and detail graphics. And at the back we have the paint reference guide for different color, refer to AK Interactive Paint, Tamiya Paint, and also Gunze, Mr. Hobby Color. And this instruction is the same as the one came with the old kit, or the initial release version, which I believe is completely sold out. And then we come to the main difference or the main instruction for this particular kit, the Dam Buster kit. And on the cover there's a black and white illustration of the box cover, and then a brief history of the Dam Buster and also the Lancaster in English. These are all the steps you need to watch out for at the old instruction, where you need to make conversions or do different steps to make sure that the new Dam Buster version can be complete. Okay, now here are the illustration for that. For like step line, that's what you need to do. Add these new parts. And then step 13, there are new parts to put in. And in step 14 also, there are new parts to put in for the interior of the fuselage. Okay, in step 15, you put in these new parts and also cut out the hole on the top, on the bottom of the fuselage. In step 16, this is what you do. And then 17 is the same as the old instruction, is the installation of the nose to the main fuselage. Here in step 27 is the assembly of parts for the Dam Buster version, getting the bomb bay ready for the bouncing bomb. And then here we have the different tail wheel for the Dam Buster version. Step 28 is the assembly of the swing arm and also the bouncing bomb. And then we come to step 67, which is all the detail differences for the Dam Buster version. And then lastly, we have the assembly of the canopy, the front gun turret, and then also some the fairing for the front turret. This part, I believe, is one of the light that shines to the surface of the water so that the pilot or the bombardier knows the right height for the bomb to drop. And then this will be the final assembly of the plane. And here we have the sprue illustration with all the parts, and then the new decal for that this particular plane. And lastly, we have the painting guide and the decaling guide. And that complete the new instruction. Well, we just look at the new release from Hong Kong model, the Lancaster Dam Buster. Now, if you're going to build one Lancaster model, you probably want to build a Dam Buster version. That's what I'm going to do, because here, this is the kit that I've been waiting for, and I'm going to build this model right away. So first of all, thank you for watching, guys, and then please watch out for my building videos. I'm not going to add a lot of details to it. I'm just trying to put it together and just build it out of the box. I may add a little bit details here and there, but probably not a lot of conversion or super detailing. So it will be a quick build, and when I say quick build, it's not gonna be like a week's build or anything, but I will just keep on building it until it's finished, and hopefully I can finish it in within a month or two. So anyways, thank you for watching, and watch out for my building videos, and bye bye.